So class 11, we are going to start with volumetric analysis. So introduction part I have already explained about analysis, what is titrant, what is endpoint and what is indicator. And we have seen preparation of sodium hydroxide in the form of pellets and how we made up the volume in standard flask. And preparation of sodium carbonate, how we took the measurement, how we made up the volume in the standard flask. So that too is done. So our standard solutions are ready. So now we are going to start the titration. For this purpose, I need to remove the burette from the burette clamp. In order to avoid any impurities present inside, first what should I do? I should add the titrant. A small amount of titrant should be added. A small amount of titrant should be added. Make sure that you have closed your stopcock. Okay, I need to close the stopcock. Then add a little amount of oxalic acid and we need to rotate this solution throughout to make sure that if at all any contaminants or impurities present will be removed out. Okay, the way by which I am rotating such that the titrant is filling the entire burette is called as rinsing. So I have rinsed my burette with oxalic acid solution. I have rinsed my burette with oxalic acid solution. The stopper is closed. Now I am going to fill the burette with oxalic acid solution. So my stopper is closed. So I am going to fill oxalic acid in the burette. Since it is colorless solution, you need to note the lower meniscus. Whatever the reading you are taking, that is the initial reading and the second reading will be your final reading. I just want to make up the level to 0. So in order to avoid parallax error, I need to view the burette exactly to my same level. So I have filled my burette with oxalic acid. So I have fixed it in the burette clamp. Next is I have to start with my conical flask. So experiment 1 is titration of oxalic acid against sodium hydroxide. Okay, oxalic acid against sodium hydroxide. This is your experiment 3. What was our first experiment? Preparation of sodium hydroxide, standard solution. Then preparation of standard solution of sodium carbonate. Experiment 3 is titration of oxalic acid against sodium hydroxide. For this I have to take a 10 ml pipette. So this is my sodium hydroxide solution. So I need to add 10 ml of sodium hydroxide. So how much ml I should take? I should take 10 ml of sodium hydroxide. Colorless solution, so lower meniscus. So pour it in the conical flask. Since both the solutions are colorless here, that is my sodium hydroxide as well as my oxalic acid, both are colorless here, and since K-4 is not there, I need some external indicator to be added. So my external indicator is phenolphthalein solution. So I am going to add 2 to 3 drops of phenolphthalein to it. Okay, 3 drops of phenolphthalein is added. And what is the end point? End point is the appearance of pale permanent pink color. So I am going to start my titration. My titrant is oxalic acid. My conical flask is sodium hydroxide along with indicator. So I have to open the stopper and drop by drop I have to allow it. In the left hand side and the right hand side I should be mixing the contents. In the right hand side I should be mixing the contents. I have kept the volume as 0. 0 is the initial reading. Once the end point is reached, I need to observe my final reading. So while doing this experiment, we are supposed to do it in duplicates so that any errors can be avoided. But I am doing only one time. So you should prepare simultaneously two conical flasks and you should start your titration. So appearance of pale permanent pink color is the end point, that is your concordant value, and I will be helping in the calculation part during the live session. A light tint of pink color is obtained. So I am just showing with the white tile so that you will be able to see that pink color. So you all can see that permanent pink color appearance. So we have attained the end point for experiment. Potassium permanganate, oxalic acid against sodium hydroxide. So next we need to proceed with the experiment with HCl against sodium carbonate. I need to fill my burette with HCl solution and my burette should be 10 ml sodium carbonate along with methodology indicator. So let us proceed to second experiment.